Hi, my name's Denise. I'm going to be baking brownies as this occupation. I would like to enhance the leisure, health management, and then some form adaptation for those that are more advanced with technology that you can also teach your clients with baking brownies in a mug in a microwave. So that's a form of adapting to technology, adapting to new forms of baking, and using a microwave or relearning how to use a microwave if any type of traumatic experience has occurred. So for today, I'm going to be actually making something that I typically would not eat myself because I do have Crohn's disease. But because my family begged me to bake them their favorite brownies, I'm going to be using this mix. So, if you can see a little closer. So I have my type of ingredients on here, which would be the coconut spray, the coconut oil spray from Trader Joe's, and brown eggs. Don't worry, my hands are already washed. We're going to be following the directions, which is also part of occupational therapy framework, which is a big part, would be following directions and teaching how to follow directions by reading along. So, in the pediatric side, where I've also shadowed, some places have had little kitchenettes, and there the kids would try to make their own pancakes. It would obviously be fake food, but it was cute to see them try on their own. Also show a form of growing up, maturing. So let's start. I also already preheated the oven, so that's one less thing. And this would go under as leisure just because um, it could go for social participation if you're going to be involving your family, your friends in the baking process. Leisure for those that find baking fun, like I do. I personally love to bake. I love to start from scratch and typically would not be using a box, but it's just easier, and this is my parents' favorite mix. They actually prefer that rather than when I use raw dark chocolate. They're not a fan of dark chocolate. I am. So we're going to be going with this as leisure. Baking for all time's sake is one of my favorite activities besides working out, which is another part of health management. It's really important to always maintain a healthy lifestyle. Um, when I was an undergraduate student, I did study exercise science and health and physical education. We did a lot of nutrition talk, and I have learned so much more about just managing your life skills with healthy lifestyle and being able to have control of your own daily activities by having a healthy lifestyle. If you're constantly eating a lot of carbohydrates, too much sugar, and you're not balancing it off well enough, then you feel sluggish throughout the day, or you have an hour of super high energy and you burn out so fast. So that type of lifestyle is not healthy, and it's not going to be able to help you have all these activities that you have to go through in the daily life. So going with that, instrumental daily activities and daily activities on their own, such like brushing your teeth, taking your dog on a walk, things like that can seem a little bit too much for someone that is constantly feeling down because of their highs and lows from eating too much sugar. And the way that their stomach breaks it down could be also very deteriorating for their large intestine. So let me unpack. So I have a bowl to my side. I'll show you once I've already put in all my materials. This is also my favorite baking season because Trader Joe's happens to have so much good healthy foods for so cheap. If you like pumpkin anything, Trader Joe's has everything pumpkin spice going on right now. Even like Oreo cookies, pumpkin spice teas, all that fun stuff. So that's also something that you can communicate with clients about. For those that are able to go grocery shopping on their own or have caregivers to go shopping with, it's something that grocery shopping can definitely be part of social participation and daily activity by having to pick out their own health management foods. And Trader Joe's is always manageable. It's an interactive tool as well when you're the practitioner and you're speaking with your client. You can always mention, I went to Trader Joe's the other day and I bought this lovely pumpkin spice tea. And you could always have samples of stuff in the office. I personally love when I shadow. Um, we have a lot of the OTs that bring in their own home goods and candles, and a lot of the parents end up wanting to buy the same stuff. And some of them have, and they'll ask them, "Oh, where did you get that? That smells so good. Ooh, can I have a bite?" Things like that. That can also be passed down to the child. I'll be right back. Okay, perfect. Just washing my hands one more time, which is also another skill. So washing your hands, that's one skill that you can also teach, for especially the pediatric patients. And I would also say that for someone that has experienced traumatic brain injury and they're starting to use both hands again, washing your hands would be another activity. So it says set oven, which we already did, and stir brownie mix, oil, water, and eggs in a bowl until blended. So I already have my brownie mix inside my bowl. Show you. The bowl looks small there, but it's actually pretty big. Oil, which we're going to use 2/3 cup oil. So I have my little measuring cup to the side. Gonna measure off 2/3 of the oil. I'm gonna hand stir for today, just because it is a step-by-step video, and this is how I would teach my clients. But my mom is a caterer, so if you happen to see the cake machines behind me, I'm not using that today. So we have some olive oil. Not olive oil. We have some of my mom's actual corn oil. And the water, 1/4 cup. I have my olive oil to the side, that's why I had mentioned olive oil. Isn't that funny how the way the brain works? If you see something, even though you know what you're trying to say, it'll say the one that you're trying to see. And eggs. As you can also see, I'm wearing my gym attire because as I bake brownies, I am planning on going to the gym after this. Let me just wash my hands for another time. Hand hygiene is always a plus in any occupation, and that's also one of the skills I have learned from, well, not that I've learned, that I've witnessed in hand hygiene and cleaning up after all activities, you'll actually see some of the older kids that have been in the facility long enough, where I've been seeing an OT for quite some time. You'll see them automatically pick up after each activity. So, like, one child was using the kitchenette and automatically stopped when the activity finished, stopped, picked up all her cooking utensils, put them in the sink, and then proceeded to the next activity. That's also one of my favorite parts of OT. There's so much you can teach your kids. In the pediatric field, which is the one I would love to specialize in, there's a lot you can do, and you can learn yourself each time with the kids. As you teach them, they teach you. So now I'm just stirring, and it's starting to look like fudge, which is exactly the consistency that you want. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the video here, and I'll come back in just a minute when I'm gonna speed up the process, and I'll catch you back later. So, hi there, Professor. I'm back now. I am done with the brownies. Changed the clothes, went to the gym, came back, and the brownies are done. Just gonna take a quick show. It's still hot. So you have to let it cool down, and that would be the next step that I would explain to the client is the waiting period. And I know in some cases time is of essence. So in a 30-minute session with a client, I would always say, patience is key when getting frustrated, when you can't do something. And I've noticed that a lot, especially in pediatrics and even in geriatrics, where patients end up getting frustrated. I had one client that when I was watching, he was getting really upset that he couldn't blow out his birthday candles, but he was able to do it. So it's just, I think it all depends on the situation. And just want to say, I'm gonna let these brownies cool down. I'm sorry for my dog. Sorry about that. Someone had knocked on the door, so my dog went crazy. You can still hear her crying. Sorry. So I'm gonna let these brownies cool down, and then we'll just cut them into pieces, and that's it. That was for my lesson today. The greatest points were of baking the brownies, timing, adapting, leisure, health management, and of course, just enjoying the whole process with your client. It could be an interactive part where you can share stories about the baking, previous times you've baked, and the special moments that you can have in social participation if the parent is there, and you can have the parent have baking times with their child, maybe bake the kid's birthday cake together, or have any bonding experience with that in geriatrics or in the older side. And instead of just baking with family, baking with friends as well. It can really help bond, and overall it's just a great process. I love baking, and I really enjoyed making this video. I hope all is well. It was a great semester, and thank you so much, Professor, for having picked this as a last assignment. I really had fun with it.